सर्वधर्मान् परित्यज्य मामेकं शरणं व्रज.
The miseries of material existence and the most hopeless conditions of life is the best possible opportunity to turn to God.
You're listening to Bare Knuckle Bhakti Shorties on the Bhakti Recovery Podcast with Jiva G, coming at you every Monday with a little spiritual something. Another episode of Bare Knuckle Bhakti Shorties. Hey everyone. So I'm sitting in the car right now in the rain in Berlin, talking on my little earbud here. Grateful to have something to record all of this. So this week's shorty is actually kind of special. I've had like lots of realizations this week. One of them being, now get this is not like one of those like yoga empowerment things. This is like for reals. So I went to an astrologer, Radikesh. He's an amazing Vedic astrologer, and I was really happy to get a second opinion. I have my regular, Prema Kumar, who's an Italian devotee, really great guy. It's really interesting, that this guy, Radikesh, this astrologer, he told me that that I really should concentrate on keeping people around me who empower me, who will really want to see me succeed and tell me the things in a positive way that will help me reach for those things. So, whatever. It doesn't really matter with all the stars. If you don't believe in all that stuff, I get that. But the most important message for me was this. I'm 55 years old. I am 55 years old. I have learned so many lessons in my life. And one of the biggest lessons that I'm learning right now is that I do not have enough time on this earth left to surround myself with people who are going to bring me down. People who don't believe in me, the naysayers in my life, the people who won't encourage me to do the things that I'm meant to do while I'm here, this short life that I have. It's quite sad. They say, when we're talking modern terms about, neurodivergent or neurotypical people, I heard something about people who are neurodivergent, like myself, before the age of 8, they get something like 65% more negative feedback by the age of 8 than neurotypical people. I have noticed that my whole life was like an uphill battle trying to fit in, trying to be neurotypical. And I didn't have those words, or I didn't have those labels. I didn't have any of those. The only label that I got was, oh, the potential. She's so bright, but only if she just could pay attention. Or, if only she would just sit down and concentrate. If only. If only I was different. If only I could be this. If only that. And through the years, it broke me. It broke me. It is so sad in a way. If I step back and look at that person who I was, that child, that kid who just needed someone to explain, that not everybody thinks the same. Einstein had that. What did he say? He said, if everyone was judged, what was it? A fish is judged by the way it swims, but if everyone was judged in the same way a fish, I don't know. I'm trying to get that. You know what I mean? It's like everyone is judged by one ability, and if not everybody has that one ability, we're always going to be not living up to our potential. And everybody has an amazing potential. It doesn't have to be that just one thing. Like, You got to be a doctor. You have to study. You have to go to university. You have to have that one neurotypical way of thinking, and everything is good. And, what does this have to do with my spiritual life? Everything. Everything. Because a healthy individual cannot practice healthy spiritual practices if they're not healthy. Yeah, we're all conditioned. Yeah, we all have all of this dharma that we need to do in life. But no, we can't do our dharma. We can't live out the things that we're supposed to be doing if we're emotionally have baggage. So I've made a decision. I've made a decision to surround myself with people who are going to uplift me. And I don't mean it just for me. I mean it being reciprocal. I want to be friends with people who I'm just going to empower. I don't want to see the negative. I don't want to put my expectations on everybody else. And if that person's not living up to my expectations of them, then I criticize them. I don't want to live like that. That's hell. And I don't want anyone putting their expectations on me. We all have to have the freedom to be who we are and be loved for who we are and how we do things. If we're all working to be closer to God, to be the healthiest versions of ourselves, mentally, emotionally, physically, and spiritually, if we're all walking in that direction, God, good, orderly direction, if we're all walking in that direction, what the hell is the problem? Why are we all judging each other? Yeah, because this person is not doing it the way I think is right. Screw that. Screw that. I'll say that again. Screw that. I was talking to a friend of mine, Braji, and she's in Mayapur. I love her. She is so hysterical. She said, so I don't know, whoever knows anything about Vedic astrology, when I was born, and when it comes to the company I keep, I have a dilapidated Mars, which I thought was the greatest name for a band. But I have a dilapidating Mars, or degrading Mars, or I don't know what that's called, descending Mars, or dilapidated, I don't know, whatever. Which means that it's very hard for me that when I'm around people telling me that I'm not good enough, I will believe it. And Braji said, you know what? I have a really strong Mars. It's not dilapidated. And if anybody doesn't like what you're doing, tell them to get out. Tell them to walk out that door. And if they can't find the door, draw it. And if they don't see it even then just throw them through the door you just drew. I laughed so hard. It was so funny. But the funny thing is yeah, when I get emotional about it, I think that too. But if I step back, really step back, completely unemotionally step back, there's an expression in English and in German, and it says, go with God, but just go. And I like that. It just means if you're not going to be somebody who is a reciprocal, empowering individual, someone who is a give and take of really, really exercising our God-given right to empower and lift others with kind words and encouragement, then I don't want to have that relationship anymore. There are certain relationships in my life I had to just kind of get rid of. I mean, it's not like it's not like someone did anything completely wrong or something. It wasn't like, okay, this is an evil person. But they don't know either. Ignorance is big. I'm a fat ignoramus, actually, when it comes to things, and I don't want to be that anymore. There are a lot of things I'm ignorant about. Lots and lots of things. I am a work in progress. And it's really freeing. It was such a freeing feeling to come to that conclusion. A couple of weeks ago, I had expressed to my husband, I learned that from Lauren Richardson. I think if you guys listen to the podcast, she spoke last week on Thursday. She called her exes a husband, and I like that very much. I don't know if that's a thing, but I just heard it. I haven't been to the States in so long. So husband. So my husband, I had asked him please to not contact me, unless it concerns our son. and to do it just with writing. And I said, look, it's not about you. I'm not angry. There's nothing here, nothing wrong. And there isn't. But I met him at a time in my life where I was so weak, and he is also a recovering addict. And he had his, his character defects became my codependence. And it was a very, very tiresome relationship. And I still have very many negative, of course we had a great marriage in some ways, but I still have very many negative chains that bind me to him. And it's not really him. It's that bind me to the part of me that I don't want to be bound to anymore. So setting him free, setting that relationship free, healing myself layer for layer with the help of God, of course. Actually, only Krishna can do that for me. I can just show up and say, I'm ready. And then it's the rest, I'm ready and do the footwork, and, Krishna will do the rest. So back to what I was saying about not wanting to have people like that in my life, to have people only that empower me. And this is going to be a very interesting journey. I've noticed a lot, my own behaviors too, being grumpy and, that person, look at them doing this, and they're not really this, and they're not really working a program, and they're not really blah, blah, blah. I mean, I can do the same thing. And I don't want to be that person. And I don't want to hang out with people who do that. If any of my friends out there are listening, please tell me to shut up if I start talking smack about somebody. Talk too much yang. And even if I don't mean it personally, I just don't. It's just because I'm a clown like that sometimes. And we're all clowns. We're conditioned. But listening to that negative conditioning that I've had my whole life, not good enough, not understood, it's caused me a lot of pain, and it's caused me not to live up to my potential. And at 55, I'm ready to grow up now and live up to my potential. And anyone who wants to come along for the ride, man, there is room in this bus. So it's going to be a real shorty today. How many minutes do we got here? Just 11 minutes and 45 seconds. How about that? So I hope this little, realization that I want to share with you guys helps in some way, because it's sure helping me. And like I said, the bus is open. Anyone can hop right on and hop right off as you like. And if you don't like what I'm doing, that's fine. I don't need to please anybody anymore. Except for my relationship with God. I got to get that right. Anyway, I love all of you guys. Thanks for listening, and I hope to get some of you. Hey, I still got a lot of openings for talks. Whoever wants to talk, hang out with me, have a good session about whatever. We talk about everything under the sun that has to do with your relationship to God and recovery. Keeping our recovery spiritual, and whatever that may look like, whether that's Christianity, whether that's yoga, whether that's, even if it's a lack of that, I'd love to hear all of it. So please write us, bhaktirecoverypodcast@gmail.com. I'd love to hear from you. All right, guys, see you on Thursday, or hear you on Thursday. Talk to you then. Ciao for now. Thanks for listening. I hope you liked the Monday Shorties. Don't forget to check out our full-length episodes on Thursdays. If you like what you heard, spread the word. Peace out.
सर्वधर्मान् परित्यज्य मामेकं शरणं व्रज.
The miseries of material existence and the most hopeless conditions of life is the best possible opportunity to turn to God.